Yo, it's your boy Sarhanis here. I just wanted to briefly elaborate on last week's video before we get into this week's. Why would the doctor for Ton of Cash come into my room and give me a false Hep C diagnosis? Alright, they do that purposely to mess with your head, when my head didn't need to be messed with. My plan the entire time was to go bananas on the show. Alright, moving on to this week's video. I can't really give this week's video a specific topic because I'm going to be talking about more than one topic. Alright, now when I was back on the Cape Cod, I was young. I was in my early 20s. And some of my coworkers asked me, what do you want to do when you get older? And I said, I want to go out to LA and act. And they'd respond and say, do you know how impossible that is? Do you know how many people go out there? And I'd say, why? Did you ever go out? They said, no. I couldn't help but think in my mind then, how the hell would you know? And I just think that's what's happened over the course of time. People listen to naysayers. My life did not begin to progress until I had the courage to think for myself. My goal was never to become a reality TV star. I wanted to do real acting. And I would imagine that you guys probably think that I was out there for 10 years, going on auditions for SAG-related things, when the truth of the matter is, I never once in my entire life went out on an audition for anything that was SAG-related. When I got to LA, I began taking workshops with casting directors. Now, these workshops were in a school classroom setting. And you put me in a school classroom setting, and I shine. I remember thinking, this is too easy. This isn't going to take long. Now, I got up in front of this casting director, and before I said anything, the guy's face just lit up. And he said, John, your eyes, your smile, you are so castable. The second teacher said, John, you can make a lot of money in this town. You just kind of come off like a loose cannon. But if you can learn to let people trust you more, you're going to make a lot of money in this town. And the third teacher said, John, one of two things are going to happen to you. You're either going to get your own television show, or you're going to end up in a mental institution. Well, let's just say that third teacher was right. Now, that final farewell on Ton of Cash, it's not like that was like a two-shot take. It's not like the director said, hey, Johnny, cut. This time, how about a little bit less of the Rocky speech and a little bit more of the animal? No. It was a one-shot take. It was a moment that I captured, and I nailed it. And that's what you call a natural. And I'm aware that that moment takes away from everything else that I did on that show. I was hilarious on that show. But everybody remembers me for the end because I blew my load at the end. Stay tuned, guys. This is just the calm before the storm.